the real reason I didn't tell many people this, honestly. I only told a few people. And I remember just being like, I don't want to be one of those people. I need to do something that's going to change my life where I
Where do you want to take this? In your mind, like where do you see this going? Where do you want it to go? Are we live?
we're live.
Are we gonna do a little intro?
Yeah. What is going on, Daily Dose of Wood patients? It's your boy, aka
Okay, what?
Jimmy Jernigan.
And Coach Outfit.
This is a little bit different of a video.
Is this not the podcast, or is the podcast toast?
Podcast is still going. I'm trying to put all my eggs in one basket, or
As far as what though?
the vlog. I feel like when I was scrambling it out between the podcast and the vlog, I wasn't able to put as much time as I wanted to into the vlog. It's very hard to balance both. When you think about it, when it first started, what was it? It was a podcast. Everyone knew it as just the podcast.
Podcast. So talk about like that transition going from the podcast to more of like the YouTube channel and the vlog. Like in your mind, like what do you feel like switched for you, or like better yet is like what direction do you have in your mind as to why you switched?
You always see people starting Instagrams, and that's probably the impression people first got when they saw me start Daily Dose of Wood. They're probably like, oh, he's just another one starting up. But now that I've definitely been consistent with it, like it's almost been a year and a half now, I think. I don't even know.
It's definitely been a year.
It's been over a year for sure. And I
You
think
started right when like COVID happened.
yeah, I think I've definitely built my credibility being that it's been so long now and kicking. But to get back to your question, I really enjoyed the vlog, and being that I traveled so much, and I've always wanted to travel, and I finally was able to do it with COVID, the job situation, all the pieces just aligned for me to just go on a travel ban, which is what I did. If we're being honest about the podcast, I just wasn't as drawn in as when I first started. I mean, some of these people that I have on have amazing stories, but I wasn't as interested.
So maybe talk about that for a second. As you know, you have some great guests, right? Like you had Robert O'Neill, the guy who killed Bin Laden. Like obviously that's great. So like, what is it about some of the people that doesn't interest you? Like what do you feel like in your mind like got you away from it? You just didn't enjoy it? Like
I wanted to focus on my personal brand. If you look back on my Instagram or you know me, I've always been into the videographer stuff.
Bro, remember we went like 2016, I think it was, we went to the Final Four.
Yes.
You've always been into like the edits and like the video stuff. Talk about maybe your interests and, you know, maybe why you enjoy that stuff and maybe why it's like a hobby for you. You know what I mean?
I've always had the GoPro or a like camera. I feel, and this is not coming off, it's gonna sound like it's coming off cocky, but I just felt like I've done so many interesting things in my life, and I've traveled to so many different places. And that's another big reason why I started Daily Dose. I'm like, if I'm gonna travel to all these places, do all these things, why not take a camera with me and bring it for the memories? And I tell you all the time, I have good faith and, you know, strong belief that Daily Dose will someday make it in some way, shape, or form.
We talk about that a lot, right? It's just like consistency and like trying to actually put yourself out there and go with it.
It's not looking at it as a plan B, but I always say, you know, God forbid things don't work out. I have these as memories and videos that I'll have for the rest of my life.
It's like worst case, right? So I don't know. I'm kind of just curious, like where do you want to take this? Like in your mind, like where do you see this going? Where do you want it to go? You know, like what do you in your mind like picture this should be in a couple years?
YouTube is the main focus right now, I think, for me, because I'm just so interested in YouTube itself. I love watching other YouTubers. There's so many different avenues you could go down with YouTube, but I don't think people understand that the types of content that you make. And with today's day and age, the content interaction, the retention rate is so small, like your time. That's why the edits take so long, because you have to think about it. I try and think about it when people are watching my videos.
You're saying the attention span.
Yeah, like the retention rate, how long someone stays on and watch my videos, and people would be surprised. I mean, I know the loyal people watching this video are the ones who watch till the end.
I think with society and the way that everything's structured right now with social media, it's really crippled the attention span, I think, of most people, because you have in the palm of your hand at your fingertips so much between TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all these platforms, that you get so much content so quickly and so easily that you just get accustomed to it. So if you're not getting it, that quick, you tune out.
Right. You know, YouTube, you have a short time. Like if I am not keeping the viewer engaged on the video with whether it's zooming in, zooming out, putting text on the screen, putting a picture on the screen, then I lose them. And then all those hours that I spend after that, they're nothing anymore now. It's worthless.
That's kind of an interesting topic, right? Is like, how do you stay motivated and stay disciplined to continue doing this week after week when, you know, maybe you don't get the views that you want, maybe you don't get the traction. So sometimes you're putting in all that work and effort, right? And you don't get the result. How do you push through that? And how do you continue to move forward and continue doing it?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, it's hard. And I think that's what we talk about successful people. The most successful people in the world are ones who don't give up. And I'm not saying that I'm fucking the Bill Gates of content creation or anything, but I look at their strategies and their pyramids of how they got to the top, and it's just relentless, never giving up. Everyone's always down them. And it's fucking heart-wrenching, if we're gonna be honest, when I put fucking 12 hours into a video and it gets 120 views. Like, the fucking shit sucks. It kills me. But at the end of the day, I fall back to my whys. Why did I start Daily Dose? If we're gonna go back, the real reason, I didn't tell many people this, honestly. I only told a few people, but I remember being in Atlantic City at the casino. It was right before COVID hit in February with all my boys. It was actually the Tyson Fury
Wilder
fight. Fury Wilder fight that night. And it's funny because the third rematch is tonight. But I remember just being down, and I was like, I have no value really to provide. I'm working a 9 to 5. I'm just someone else. Like I didn't have a purpose. And
so like, what switched?
I just remember I was saying to myself, I don't want to ever feel like this again. I don't want to live a 9 to 5 for the rest of my life. I remember Joe Rogan saying, you know, people cherish the moments to go take a shit on the toilet during the workday because they get out. And that's what, and you talk to people, and this is real life shit. Like I've heard friends before say like they can't wait to go to the bathroom and just scroll on their phone for 10 minutes. And I remember just being like, I don't want to be one of those people. And I was like, I need to do something that's going to change my life where I feel better about myself and I feel like I have a purpose. And Daily Dose gave me a purpose. The first thing I thought, me and Brian Woodburn, BBW, who I started with, we talked about starting a podcast for a while. And I said, you know what? This is a good opportunity. This is right before COVID hit. And we didn't even plan. Like, we planned it. The first episode was right as COVID was happening. So it wasn't like COVID hit and then we did it. It was like, we did it and then COVID hit.
Isn't that crazy?
It aligned perfectly. It's scary.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about like having faith in the man above. Like maybe he does actually have a plan for you, and it's like that shit freaks me out a little bit. But at the same time, it does comfort me because like maybe we are exactly where we need to be, and you can't rush it. You just have patience and have faith in what you need to do, and just continue to, I guess, act like that. You know?
Yeah. So I continue to have faith. We started the podcast, and obviously the Chief, my dad, has a lot of good connections that he's worked his ass off for and deserves every connection.
Honestly.
He's a very well respected man in the country, 100%. In New York City. But I was able to capitalize on those, and that's what gave Daily Dose traction to start with the podcast. And the long-term goal, or the goal that I always had in my head that me and Woodburn kind of bumped heads on, was I wanted to make it into a YouTube like Barstool type thing. I always had it, but I didn't express to him well. Like, he just thought it was, you know, shits and giggles. We're gonna come in and shoot the podcast. So
you're saying that you didn't set the right expectation?
I didn't word it properly to him, or I didn't get my vision across. And we've talked about this. The beef is settled. No, not at all. We're best friends. I mean, we get along now better than ever, and we always joke about Daily Dose. We had so many laughs too. Me, him, and Jake Jellaball. We fucking had so many laughs.
First video of you guys like sitting right on top of each other with like the headphones.
So funny. Now look at us fucking here. Like, it's crazy how far we come.
The camera there, 2, 3. We got like 5 cameras right now.
It's crazy, but it's awesome. To break down why I started Daily Dose, a couple reasons. I'll just retouch on them right now. I was lacking purpose in life, and purpose. I just didn't see myself doing the 9 to 5 for the rest of my life. I've always loved the videographer stuff. I mean, there's so many reasons. I'm probably missing a few, but the communication skills I've gained out of this, and we could go into this another time, but I fucking sucked at talking. I'm not perfect now either. I'm still not good, but
you don't realize that until you see it.
I could communicate with people so much better. I'm not awkward.
Yeah, it's a skill.
You know, it didn't come to me overnight. I was depressed for a long time, and then, like I said, that one night it just clicked in my head, like, we're gonna make it happen. I don't know how I'm gonna make it happen or what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna start. And I started somewhere, and I started the podcast, and now we're here.
That's gold. Fucking clip that.
Yeah. I'll leave it at that because I don't want to talk too long. Like we said, retention rate is short, but
you know, I really think it's valuable for the audience and your followers to understand, you know, where your head's at and where you're trying to go with this. So I think that backstory is absolutely crucial. You know,
so to sum up Daily Dose, there you have it.
that was fucking incredible, dude.